Did I clean my room already? Am I done folding the laundry? Oh my gosh. I had to go to the store today. Oh my goodness, I didn't do the emails yet. I got so much going on. What's going on with me? Why I feel so low? They're so annoying. Why couldn't they figure that out by themselves? Why are they asking me for help? I can't deal. I just can't deal. God. Oh my gosh, I'm back. Now, I said every Sunday, and here we are, 3 months later? Oh my goodness, I feel shame, there is shame. But you know what? I have learned a lot. So before we get into anything, I hope that you are well and blessed, and this video finds you, just covered under God's grace. I really do. And so as for me, these past couple months have been a learning curve. It's been difficult. It's been challenging. And so one of the things that I've really struggled with is a cluttered mind. So I figured the best way to jumpstart my comeback would be to address some of the things that I struggled with and how we're going to go ahead and move forward from that, or how we can move forward from that. Let's jump right into that. I thought, let's just talk about it. For me, a cluttered mind was just not being able to have focused thoughts, just feeling like I had 1,000,001 things that I'm trying to do all at the same time. Feeling like, oh my goodness, like, just the most, like, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. Just trying to keep up, and the effects of operating in just a cluttered state of mind for me has been being super impatient and irritable with the world and back, just feeling like I just can't get a moment to myself, just feeling like I'm being worn thin, and just all the things you can expect to experience from dealing with, oh my God, I have to do this, like on a regular basis all the time. And so the first thing that I had done to just kind of address how I was feeling, and you can imagine just slowly slipping into what might have been depression, was return back to God. Okay, if you have seen my last 2 videos, it's really been geared towards my growth. I have always wanted to build a certain growth for God, and so I tried to start in my day with prayer, and relationship with God. Please don't mind the noise in the background. I live in the city. It is what it is, but we will work through it. We'll be just fine. And so the main thing that I have done to help me just overcome this mindset that I was trying to operate and be productive in was talk to God, was build my relationship back up with God. So the first point that I want to share with you was prayer. Okay. I like to start my day with prayer, and I try to end my day with prayer. And so for me, prayer is it's not just about, God, I need you to do this for me, I need you to do that for me. Sometimes you think you know what's best for you, and then you find out later on down the line that it's the worst thing you could ever do for yourself, to yourself, So I pray for his will and I pray for his authority, to be the main focus. I pray that my plans for myself be aligned with his plans for me. And that has been very healing for me, to say the least. I try to make sure that in my prayer that I'm building a relationship with him. So I'm saying thank you for the things that he has done, and things of that nature. Through prayer, I have learned that prayer and reading my Bible, that's how he talks to me. See, these past couple of days, I've only just gone back to this journey just this Monday. Today's Saturday, so on Monday, I started doing my morning routine, which means, after I get dressed and I get myself feeling, cute with the makeup, push yourself a nice outfit, all that good stuff, I try to make sure that I slip right into, just singing a song for him and just sitting in his presence and giving him his flowers, so to speak. And then after praying and talking to him and giving him all of the gratitude that I feel for the blessings in my life, I read one chapter of the Bible. Now, just the other day, I was reading a Bible verse. I just finished Luke, so it had to be in the book of Luke, about two sisters. When Jesus was walking this earth, he stopped at the house of two sisters. So one was Martha, one was Mary, if I'm remembering correctly. And when he decided to lodge with them, Martha, one of the sisters, was busying herself with, I gotta make a meal, I gotta make sure that we have this very important person in our house. So naturally, she wanted to make sure that she was receiving him well. Her sister, Mary, was more of, let me spend time with this person I've heard so much about, And so it came to a point where Martha went to the living room, how I imagine it, and she said, Jesus, I've been in the kitchen just slaving, trying to make this meal. Don't you think it's unfair that Mary's sitting here with you? Tell her to come help me. And Jesus his response was, Martha, you're so distracted with all these details, with all these things. Mary has found the main idea. It will not be taken from her. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was in Martha's situation, I would very much, for sure, be irritated with this response. But luckily, what I learned from that particular verse was that was for me. I had too much going on. I was too much trying to do too many things at once, that I was missing the main idea. And so we'll address that. But the first point was prayer. Prayer helped me connect with God, and he spoke to me about the things that I was doing wrong, helped me find revelation in how I was going about things the wrong way. The next thing that I found to be very helpful is letting things go. Right now, I live with two men that I love dearly. The first is what I call my complication. The other man is my brother. And so right now I'm trying, so for example, in the spirit of letting things go, I'm trying to take on a pescatarian diet to help me have more energy and just to be clean. You see these pimples? It's just not the look. I'm trying to clean up my act completely. So pescatarian for me means no meat, but eggs and seafood. And so they are men, and these two men love to eat chicken and ribs and all the good stuff. So I am the cook in the house. When I cook, I have been trying to cook their foods or meals that they would like, and meals for me. Now, as you can imagine, someone who's trying to develop the discipline to stick with her goals, it never really worked well. So I had to let go of trying to please everybody, and that they never even requested of me, and just kind of focused on or set certain boundaries to respect the goals that I was trying to achieve. And so I learned that I can't carry the whole world and myself. I can only control what I have control over, and those is managing myself and the procedures I set for myself to set me up for success. So the next point, their next suggestion for you if you're suffering with a cluttered mind like me, is take on what you can take on. Don't add more to your plate that, is only going to cause you more trouble. And you can weigh what you should keep and what you should just let go based off of, does it feed your purpose or does it feed your end goal in any way? If it doesn't, if it costs you more than it's giving you and you can afford to, let it go. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so the next thing that I learned that was very beneficial for me is respecting my morning routine and my evening routine. I'm still getting on the evening routine part, but the morning routine has been very pivotal for me. So if you're wondering, what's a good morning routine, I have a video on a really good morning routine that has been working for me, and I have a video on an evening routine, and I swear by them completely, because your morning routine helps you set the tone for the day. It helps you move past how you're feeling that morning and into a state of productivity. The evening routine helps you set yourself up for success the next day. You don't want to have to cook and you're wondering, what am I going to make? When you're trying to get that done in a certain amount of time. You don't want to have to be productive in the day and you're trying to decide, what am I going to do today? Do you want that to be done ahead of time? So that is how my morning and evening routines have helped me. My morning routine also consists of talking to God, of praying, of putting time aside for him. And so the reason why that is so important is because during that time, if I wake up feeling sluggish, if I wake up feeling like, I don't want to do anything, what is the point? You understand what I'm saying to you? I have a pattern. I have a procedure as to how I start my day. And that protects me from slipping into a state of unproductivity, from giving into the emotions that I feel strongly. So, for example, this morning was very difficult. This morning was very difficult because I woke up feeling like I had all these things that I wanted to do. I had already decided how I was going to, address today, what goals I wanted to hit, things like that. And then when I woke up this morning, I just felt like I don't want to. I don't want to do anything. I just felt heavy. You know what I'm talking about. When you just feel like you're done, which is crazy because this week has been very productive, but that's besides the point. I knew that I had a morning routine in place to help me set the tone for the day. So even though I couldn't get up at 5, even though I didn't get up as early as I wanted to, I think I got up at like 8 today, but I'm aiming for 4:30. We'll get there. I slipped myself in the shower and then I made my way to the living room where I, do my prayer and, talking to God and all that stuff. Going into it, I realized that I was really feeling like I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be there. You understand? And so that morning when I was in the shower, I remember like, I wanted to talk to God. I wanted to just explain to him, like, I have a lot of things going on and I don't really want to do any of that. I don't have the energy to do any of it. You know what I mean? And so he really helped me. That's the best way I could say it. He really helped me put the pieces together. So I don't want to jump around, but I guess we can move on to the next point because this is about to slip into the next point. So respect your morning routine because it keeps you on track no matter how you feel. That's what you should take out of that. Okay. My next point is talk to God. Now I know the first point was pray, but I think there's a difference between talking to God and praying. You understand? Sometimes you don't have the opportunity to go in a private place and close your eyes, be by yourself and just be like, God, I love you and I need you right now, fight for me. Sometimes you just can't, if you're on a call with someone who's trying your last nerve, you can't break out in prayer. It's not professional. It's not the time, but you can talk to him. We were gifted with the Holy Spirit for that purpose alone. So, just speaking like, God, you know what? I don't know. I can't do this by myself. I'm gonna need you to help me out. Give me patience. We get it from you. You know what I mean? Just little things like, I'm worried about this internship, God, and I really don't know how I'm gonna approach it, but I believe that with you, I can do anything. So take over. You understand what I'm saying to you? So this morning, when I was in the shower, one of the first steps of my morning routine, I started talking to him. I was like, Holy Spirit, I've been looking for you for a while. I've been seeking your voice. I have no idea what you sound like. I've never been this submissive to my relationship with Heavenly Father before. So I'm feeling really sluggish right now. And the way I'm feeling, I don't see myself carrying and being productive. Help me. Okay. So in me talking to him, you guys, this is big for me. This is really big for me. I heard a little voice tell me, and it just sounded like my thoughts. You know, it wasn't like there was just some looming haze. You know, it was just like, it sounded like my voice, like an idea. You know, and basically what it was like is, do you remember that video you watched when you were looking for me, when you were trying to grow? Do you remember what you learned? Now, there is another woman on YouTube named Dr. Michelle Daff. If you have not been to her channel, if you know nothing about her, but you're trying to grow in your femininity, if you're trying to grow in your relationship with God, anything of that nature, that woman is doing God's work. So go ahead and check out her video when we finish up here, and just go ahead and feed your growth. But the particular video that came to mind that, you know, the Holy Spirit was telling me about was the one titled Emotional Maturity. So she has said in her video that in order for you to have emotional maturity, you first need to know yourself. You need to know your triggers. You need to know the emotions that you feel. You need to know how to process those things if you're going to know how to deal with them. So in that moment, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I did watch that video just a couple days ago. You know what I mean? And so him telling me that helped me to realize that in that moment, I knew I was feeling like I just didn't have the patience. I knew that I was feeling like I just didn't have the strength, but I didn't know why I was feeling them. So I took a moment to realize the night before, me and my complication had a conversation about the boundaries I had to set within the relationship to respect my growth and my relationship with God. And some of the things that we had to talk about, that we had to work through, were painful for him. And so obviously if you go to bed feeling a certain way, you're going to wake up the next morning and, you know, you might wake up with the weight of whatever it was that you were feeling that night. So I woke up and I just knew that he was going through a difficult thing. So I felt compassion, you know, for his pain. I felt like I was hurting too, because someone that I really love was hurting, you know. And so having understood why I was feeling so low was because I was feeling compassion for somebody very close to me, helped me realize, oh, okay, yes, but those words had to be said. You had to leave him alone so he could process emotions. It wouldn't be good for you. You did the right thing. Because what happened was, I knew he was hurting and I made no attempt to comfort him about the thing he was hurting about, because I knew that it would have compromised or put me in a precarious situation as far as me committing to the boundaries that I was putting up. So I kind of had to leave him through that pain so I could protect me. And I think that he needed to be in that space by himself to just kind of work some things out. So just all in all, I realized that yes, I did the right thing. It was a difficult decision, but it was the right decision, and it's a new day now. So I know that, having realized how I feel and understanding that he's feeling the same way, I need to make sure that I express that I have no issues with him. I have no kind of malice in my heart towards him. But I'm going to continue to respect the boundaries that I set up. And so I ended up doing that. I gave him a little kiss, and that was it. I gave him a kiss. I love you, baby. That was what my kiss meant. It meant I love you, baby. But, you know, I'm respecting my boundaries, and that is what it is. Okay. So having talked to God helped me realize what I was feeling. And it reminded me that when I'm feeling crazy, don't just operate on what I'm feeling, process what those feelings are, and then why you're feeling them, because that's what's going to help you move forward. So I realized what it was and how I was going to move forward from it. And then I realized I'm hungry, and I'm hungry now, but I was hungry then that morning too. So with the clarity of what it was I was feeling and why I was feeling it, I kid you not, it felt originally like there was a huge cloud over my head. It felt like, just like my soul just felt really dark. Like I just didn't have any energy, like I had no light. But when it was revealed to me what I needed to do, And when I processed those emotions, it just felt like my heart just sort of opened up. Like there was light just shining where it was just dark. Like warmth came back. You know, it felt like the cloud that was weighing over me just kind of went away. You understand? It's just clarity. That's what it did. So talk to God. If you're going throughout your day, just talk to him like, God, what you want me to do in this situation? It's for your own good. It's for your own healing. Having a relationship with him. Okay, that was long, but it was necessary. It's a huge point for me, so I hope that was helpful to you. Okay, moving right along, the next point that I want to say is to journal. Okay, so for those of you who don't know or haven't seen my morning routine, it starts like this. I go down and make a cup of tea, come back upstairs, take a shower, get myself dressed, make myself feel presentable, like I'm about to do something, like I have some place I need to be. And then next thing is I go and I spend my time with God through prayer, worship, reading my Bible, that sort of deal. Then I end my whole routine before I start breakfast and start my day with journaling. Okay, journaling has been a journey for me. It has been a huge journey. I started it 2 years ago, and I'm realizing my growth now, and it just makes me smile, because originally I think in 2020 when right before COVID hit, I started to journal, and I thought it was supposed to go like just write all your thoughts down. And so when I sit down for that part of the routine, I would just write every single thing that happened to me the day before, everything that was going on that day, and it turned into a chore. It turned into just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm still writing. Oh my goodness, my hand hurts. This is too much. So, I guess it's not surprising to know or to find out that it didn't last long. Like, I kind of let it go for a while. And then last year, I realized that I was going about it the wrong way. And so what I did was I purchased a gratitude journal. And so I revised my approach to journaling by just write the main points in the day that stuck out to me most. So if I got into a conflict with somebody, what happened, how did it make me feel, and what could I have done to not end up in that situation, that sort of deal. Or if I see a reoccurring issue within my own mannerisms or myself that I don't like, I'll journal about it, and how am I going to move forward so this isn't moving forward with me. So that is how I was addressing it. And then I would end just the little synopsis, the little overview of the previous day with, just responding to the gratitude journal prompts for that day. Now, I started my comeback in my growth in revising what I had going on earlier this week. So today's Saturday, I started on Monday, and it just so happened that it was a rainy day. And for me, when it rains, I have no energy. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be productive. I want to be left alone. But I was realizing just how much my cluttered state of mind and just the way I was approaching life was sucking the life out of me, that it came to a point where I was just like, I can't afford to do anything any other way. I need to do something different. I need to do something now. So, it was raining that day, and it came time for me to do my journaling. And as I was journaling, I was like, I don't feel like dealing with these prompts. I don't even want to think about yesterday. Let me just jump into the part where I write about my feelings. Okay. So I wrote, honestly, I'm feeling crazy right now. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be productive. I feel very much weighted. And as I was writing about it, I decided that, let me just write something to be grateful for, just from what I've learned from having a gratitude journal. So I think I said I'm grateful for this opportunity to start fresh and new. I'm grateful that even though I don't feel like doing what I'm doing right now, I have developed enough discipline to be doing what I'm doing. So I'm proud of myself in this opportunity to grow. Okay. And then I wanted to end it with just, why do I feel joy? Something came to me and was just like, write about how you're joyful right now, because I want to be working on being intentionally joyful. And so let me talk to you for a second. I said, I am feeling joy because I'm happy that I'm being the woman I want to be. I'm being responsible and I'm being productive. I'm feeling joy because while I have been going things about life the wrong way, um, I'm God has given me enough wisdom to try doing things a different kind of way. It was something along those lines. I didn't feel joyful at the time, but being intentionally joyful means you need to speak on what you want to feel. You have to have the vision, and then you have to act as if it is what it is. So in that moment, that was my understanding. So that's how I approached the situation. And lo and behold, as I was writing that I'm joyful and I'm happy about this thing I'm doing, my heart, which was feeling pretty low, which was feeling pretty lazy. It's the first day of getting back to a routine that I had not been doing for months, So I just was like, I felt myself smile. I felt my soul smile, like, hey, this is kind of nice. I feel joy right now, actually, as I'm saying it. Now, that's when I realized that your mind, your mindset plays a major role in how you feel. For a long time, I just thought it was nice words, just, the cute little caption you put on your Instagram pic, or, you post on Twitter. But as cliche as it sounds, it's true. You are what you allow yourself to think, You feel what you allow yourself to sit in. It's true. It's so true. So moving forward, I revised my journaling to a more productive and more realistic way. So the way that I do it now is, I give the brief synopsis about, what happened the day before, things that stuck out to me that I want to, work on and keep at the back of my mind for my growth. And then I shift into one thing I'm grateful for, and then I end it with I'm joyful because. And this has taught me how to be intentionally joyful. Let me talk to you for a second. If you have ever wondered, how come some days I wake up and I'm just like really on top of the moon, but if it's the daytime and then it's the sun, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, why am I so happy? And then other days I just wrong side of the bed. Waking up on the wrong side of the bed is normal. It's a part of life. But knowing how to manage those emotions and how to generate the joy that happens sometimes is beautiful. And up until that point, I was just hoping for the joy to just happen naturally. I didn't know how to cultivate it. This is how you cultivate it. It's in your mind. So that's why it's good to start your day with journaling, because it sets the mood for the day. Not just being productive, but in the way you address your productivity, the joy that you feel. And so that is the difference between being joyful and being happy. Happiness is feeling that positivity for a reason. Like, if you were really hungry and you sit down to some really good food and you're happy, there's a reason for that happiness. But joyful is just feeling happy for no reason. Like when you wake up and you're just happy, you don't know why you're happy, but you're just so happy. That's the difference. And for a long time, I didn't know how to make myself joyful, because the Bible asks us to be intentionally joyful regardless of what's going on. It's your mindset. So having a cluttered mind has helped me. What am I saying, Lord? Help me. I'm not speaking right. Let's try that again. Overcoming the decluttered mindset. Part of what went into that was journaling my emotions so I could sit in them and recognize what they are. But in also being intentionally joyful by intentionally saying things. I'm joyful because. That has been very healing to me. So if you haven't tried it, try it. Trust me, it will help with the clarity and, everything else in between. So with that being said, the last thing, we went on for a while, so sorry. The last point that has really helped me with my cluttered mind was pacing myself. Up until recently, I had been telling everybody, you just want to have 1 or 2 goals every day. And for me, 1 or 2 goals, just addressing some financial goals, or just my long-term financial success. But to kind of clear up my weekend so I can relax and not have to worry about anything at all. I have also had one goal towards the house. So today might be vacuum day. Tomorrow might be clean the tub day, you know, just to get it all out the way during the week. And then I'll have another goal set up for my body. So every day I have a goal towards my body. One day might be doing my nails, another day might be doing my pedicure, another day might be shaving. You get the idea. So it's on a schedule. What I realized was, if I was just leaving it at a goal, you know, towards my financial situation, and that's it, it would have worked out just fine. But when you put all these little goals together and then you put it within the time frame of before I start my shift, then you add on, I wanted to make 2 extra hours. Woo, child, I was doing too much. I wanted to do 2 extra hours of emails, you know, in addition to, you know, working my regular shift before the shift started, just to get some extra money in. And then on top of that, I have a dog. So, you know, I like to walk my baby every day. And during that time, I like to listen to, like, you know, femininity videos like Dr. Michelle Dav. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a side note. But I have to walk the dog. You have to eat. So I have to cook dinner like every other day or something. It was a lot going on. So naturally, like, it would have to be back to back to back. And there were some days I couldn't get stuff done. And then I feel really badly, like, oh my goodness, now I have to worry about it tomorrow. And that was weighing on the peace of my mind. You understand what I'm saying to you? That was feeding the cluttered mindset that I had. It was probably the basis of what was causing it. So I came to learn that, you know, going back to the original point, that I had to let some things go. If I really trust God to really stand and act on my behalf, if I'm really trusting it, I have faith in that He could, you know what I'm saying, really build me up, that I'd be the head and not the tail. You understand what I'm saying to you? That I'm a child of God in title and in truth, that I won't go hungry, that He will take care of me better than He takes care of the birds in the sky and the fishes in the sea, then I need to act on that, you know? So building my relationship with God led me to the Word. That was actually what really caused me to see I'm not pacing myself the right way. I was reading the Bible one morning and I fell on the verse of, you know, I take care of the birds in the sky and they don't have to worry about what they're gonna eat. When it's time to eat, they go find food. I take care of them. But you are my creation too, and I love you more than I love the birds of the sky. So what do you think I could do for you? When I read the Bible now, my spirit jumps at certain things, and that's how I recognize that one was for me. That one was for that thing I was just asking about, you know? So that one was for me. I realized that I was not pacing myself in a healthy way, and that was eating at my peace of mind. So I let go the 2 hours that I was trying to work, 2 extra hours. And I told myself, you know, if I'm really a child of God, I will believe that God will work on my behalf. But of course, I need to do my part too. So I started looking for internships. If you don't know, my career goals are set towards holistic health. But for me specifically, that is in herbalism, you know, just how the medicinal properties of certain herbs to help you prevent a disease or how to fight things like COVID and things of that nature. But also too, nutritional wellness, you know, what you put in your body and all that stuff. So that's where I would like to leave my mark as far as my career. And so I was just like, you know, God, you just help me. I'm gonna leave my customer service job. I work a remote job as a customer service representative, so you can see that it's not in line with my purpose at all. So you can only imagine, after a whole day of pacing myself horribly, then you gotta get on the call with people that, you know, telling me issues that I need to help with, I'm getting paid to help with, but you know, in my heart I just feel like I need this day to be over. You can imagine. So I was starting to feel burnt out, and so I talked to God and I said, well, you know what, you said you're gonna take care of me, so I'm gonna pace myself right. I'm gonna take some of these things off the table. leave certain goals for certain days so I'm not overbearing myself with these things, overwhelming myself, whatever have you. And so I began to, this is why I say it all goes back to God, because as I was running around doing too much, it was killing me. But the minute I realized that I had to pace myself, I started talking to God. He was like, yeah, my daughter, I got you. That's why I'm here. Let it go. Let these extra hours go. Stop trying to manage the men in your life. Let me work on them. You focus on what you absolutely have to do, nothing more. And then you pace yourself. So I had to leave certain things for the weekend, like cleaning my home. And I had to make sure that I was allowing them to help me. I mean, they live here too. But I guess what I was really getting at was I could be working on my internship, which is required for graduation, just to get my feet wet in the whole herbalism interest. I can get paid for that. It had never crossed my mind to work extra hours there as opposed to working the extra hours trying to kill myself with a customer service job that doesn't feed my long-term goals the way the internship would, So it was revealed to me while I was talking to God that there are other ways to make money, other less taxing ways to make money. While we're sitting here talking, I was trying to find other ways that, I could generate income that wouldn't require too much of my energy. So, he started opening doors for me, telling me, listen, if you seek, you'll find. If you have faith, I got you. I'll take over from there. So it's just life started to open up. And so not to get too far off track, then we've already not too far off than we already have. Pace yourself, as you're picking out the goals for each day and all the things that you want to do, make sure it's aligned with your long-term goals. That's how you can know if you need to kick it or if you need to keep it. Does it feed your long-term goals? Is it giving as much as it's taking? If it's not, you need to let it go. You know what I mean? Talk to God. He will reveal that to you. But as far as pacing yourself, when you have all the stuff you have to do, like cooking dinner, for me, walking the dog, praying and, getting up in the morning to really give God, the time that he needs. I need an hour to get ready, and then I need another hour to, get my prayers and my Bible time and all that stuff. So that's 2 hours. You know what I mean? Pace yourself. How? You got to wake up at a certain time. If you're really about your business, if you really want to grow in this life, you got to get up earlier. You got to develop that discipline. Creating that extra time management skill helps declutter your mind, because more time to do what you need to do. So pace yourself. How are you going to break it up in the week and things like that? Okay. That was everything. I know it was a lot, but I hope it was helpful, because when I tell you, in just 1 week of really having my eyes be open to these things, of really letting God just lead, of consulting him first before I'm acting, I see changes. I feel changes in the way that I interact with other people. More patience now, more maturity now, you know what I mean? Being able to see past the person yelling in my ear about, just all up in their emotions, to really understanding where it's coming from. And so to better help me understand why I don't need to get emotionally invested, because they're just being human. They're having a human moment. Things like that. It's healing. Put God first before anything you do in this life, and you will grow. You cannot stay the same if you know God. It just doesn't happen that way. So, I know that I have made promises to post once a week. I think we're going to do this a different way. I am aiming and praying to get, a video out once a week. But why don't we say, I'll see you next time? How about that? I think that's better. I think that's better. Listen, I love you, and I want to hear your feedback. I know that you're going through your own journey, so maybe you have some tips too for dealing with the cluttered mind. Let's give him time. It is a nice day to be on a motorcycle. I wouldn't mind being on a motorcycle right now, but that's besides the point. If you would like to add, I would love to hear it. And I say that with all sincerity, because I think this whole growth approach It's better when you have community, when you have people going through it with you. You don't feel alone, you don't feel trapped, you don't feel misunderstood, because when you have the right we in your corner, hey, they will catch you when you fall, they'll remind you when you feel like you want to give up. It's just good, more tools for God to work with in your life. So please go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe so we can, help each other out and we can see when the videos come out. I love you, and until next time.